Hi, everybody, and welcome to HTV. I'm Scott Robbs, along with new University of Hawaii Defensive Coordinator Corey Batoon. Coach, welcome.
Thank you.
You just got here, just a couple of days ago.
About 72 hours ago.
You're from Hawaii, but it's got to be kind of an emotional time for you being back home and leading Hawaii's defense.
Sure. No, it's an exciting opportunity for us and the family to get back home and get a chance to be at a historic place like this. It's quite an honor.
Talk a little bit about Corey Batoon, let people know who you are and a little bit about your background.
Well, I've been kind of all over the place, with this coaching journey we've been on. Most recently was down at Florida Atlantic with Lane. Had a great season this past year. Neat opportunity to come into a program that hadn't had much success, and then to kind of be a part of that thing, getting that thing turned around. Had a great season. Great kids were leaving back there. Before that was at the University of Mississippi for 5, Arkansas State for 3, and 11 in Arizona, so I've seen the country.
Yeah, one thing about being a football coach, unless you're the head coach, you really pay your dues, and you did pay your dues. Was this always a goal to find a way to get back to Hawaii?
You know, you always we come back every summer, still home. My mom and dad still live here, so when you come back, you always, follow the program from afar, and just felt like this was a good time with Rolo here, the leadership that he has, the momentum that he's got going with the program. Felt like it was a good time to come back home. I
read somewhere that you and Rolo had been talking off and on for a while. Where did that relationship begin?
Well, probably when he was at Nevada, kind of the coaching fraternity. A friend of mine that I'd worked with at Arkansas State was actually working with him at Nevada. So then that relationship kind of bonded. Knew he was a great quarterback here, so kind of got to know each other back in the day, and kept in contact. Did
you always know you wanted to get into coaching, and was it defense that you were always involved in?
Sure. Well, my dad's a basketball coach,
right.
So kind of grew up around gyms, and that work ethic, kind of started there, and I've been blessed. I feel like I've never worked a day in my life, and I really haven't. Every day you hit the ground, you can't wait to get in the office and get going. So it was a lifestyle that kind of appealed to me from the start.
Talk a little bit about your philosophy and some of the people that made an impact on who you are now as a coach.
Sure. Every situation is totally different when you work for different people. You work in different parts of the country. People you work with, head coaches, assistant coaches. I mean, you take a little bit from all of those places, and so I feel like I'm kind of a collection of those experiences.
What can we expect now when it comes to University of Hawaii defense? What are your philosophies? What do you want to implement defensively with UH?
Well, a lot of it is kind of getting the system taught. We're more process based. We're not looking at the end result. This winter will be huge in terms of getting a feel for what the personnel is here, and then making decisions based on X's and O's that fit that personnel.
People always want to get caught up in is he running a 4-3 or 3-4, things like that. So are you saying you'll just decide once you really get to know the personnel?
Sure. I mean, we've been multiple, whether it's a 3-down or 4-down, at Ole Miss and last year at FAU. Feel like in today's game with the spread offenses, you have to be able to improvise and morph your defense, and we've had the ability based on our personnel to play a 4-down or a 3-down, whatever suits the kids.
Are you an attacking defense? Do you like the blitz a lot?
Sure. I mean, we like to be the cat and not the mouse,
right.
So if we can make offenses uncomfortable, I think that's part of the ability to get stops.
Have you had a chance to look at some of the personnel you have coming back this year? I mean, your linebacking core seems to be pretty strong.
Sure. No, again, following the program from afar, you kind of know the names. It was neat getting a chance to meet these guys the last couple of days. A lot of really humble guys that are, anxious for success.
Are you a goal-oriented coach? Do you set certain goals? Like, what have you thought about you'd like to have happen this coming football season with your defense?
Sure. When you talk about goals, I mean, I think, again, that's result-based. We are more process-based in terms of what do we have to do to be successful today. So if you want to use the term goals, I mean, short-term, there are some things that we would like to see coming out of the winter conditioning in terms of our personnel, and then as you progress into spring camp and then summer, I mean, those are things that, you have landmarks that you want to try to achieve within the process, but the goals in terms of longer reaching goals, I mean, those are going to be defined, as we go through the summer.
Now, everybody knows recruiting is the lifeblood of the success of a program. You've got to get good athletes. You spend a lot of time down in the South where football players are terrific. Is that a place where you think maybe you have a comfortability where you can maybe convince some kids from that area to come out and play at UH? Is that something you've thought about?
Yeah, I think from a cultural standpoint, there's a lot of similarities. How important football is here in the islands. In the South, Alabama, Florida, Mississippi, some areas that I was recruiting quite a bit. I mean, there's that same culture where kids grow up playing, football year-round. I think that the weather obviously is a huge factor, and it's a little bit further of a net, but I think we can dial into some of those recruiting networks that we've had in the past.
And you've got some of the best talent in the country right here in the 50th state, and I would think it might be a bit of an advantage for you having both grown up here, gone away, and come back. When you go and you get into those homes and you talk to the parents and you talk to the kids.
Yeah, it's been different in that for so many years we've come to the islands trying to take kids off the island, recruiting them away from home, and now it's you're flipping the script and you're trying to talk kids into staying. But huge talent base here, and anxious to dive into some of those contacts.
Well, we look forward to watching your players on the field this coming fall, and best of luck, and welcome back home, Coach.
Thank you so much.
Defensive Coordinator Corey Batoon, I'm Scott Robbs. Aloha.